I want you to think about the last time that you saw something really interesting online, whether it was somebody's comment that they made on a post or something was surfaced to you that made you like stop and pay attention. Most of the time, what happens in the online space when we discover something really, really interesting is that we do what I call the sniff or the sniff test. When you come across something interesting, 9 times out of 10, what you're going to do is investigate who the person behind this interesting thing is. So something caught your attention, and unless it was really powerfully written, where the copywriting was intensely well constructed and it was low ticket, and you're like, okay, I don't care who this is, I must have this now. Chances are what you did was the sniff, which is basically my way of calling what most people do online, where they investigate and vibe test and find out who the person is behind this interesting thing and proceed to make a judgment about them. So let me show you what this means. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how my clients and I have aced our sniff test and how we do this with one single video, which I call a human connection video. First off, let's understand exactly what's happening when people do the sniff, when you do the sniff, or when your prospect does the sniff. So you come across something interesting and you decide to investigate who the person is behind this interesting thing that you were shown. So it's either an ad or a post or a comment that was made somewhere or a name that was given to you or referred to you by a friend or someone you trust. And typically the first thing we do is we go check them out. And what that means is we go either on their social profiles or we go on their website or both. And when we land on these places, we are instinctively wanting to answer one very specific question. Is this person worth my attention? Are they worth following? What are they about? And ultimately, we want to judge whether they're worth paying attention to. And so this is where a really important stat comes in. So if people are going on their website, one of the most mind-blowing things is knowing that the second most visited page on your website is your About Me page. And that's because people want to know who you are. When they are doing the sniff, that vibe test, that investigation, they want to go on your About Me page. And the reality is that most of us wrote that text a million years ago in the third person. We wrote it because we were told we needed to have something there. And we had no strategy behind what to write there. Or we did what we thought we needed to do, which was we used the About Me page to continue to say what's in it for them. When your prospect looking at the About Me page really wants to understand who you are at that point. They know what's in it for them. They already know what you do, but they want to understand why you do it. Your drive. What is your personality like? What are your values like? Same thing happens when they go on your socials. So they're checking you out to understand, what is this person about? What are they like? What's the vibe here? There was even a study done in Princeton that revealed that people made judgments about the likability and competence and trustworthiness of a person within 1/10 of a second of seeing their face, which is crazy to think that in that short of a time span, people are already making a snap judgment about you. And so what happens is most of us fail that test. And if you fail that test, if you don't have a really amazing answer for who you are, when your prospect is performing the sniff, which by the way, everyone performs the sniff online, where they're checking you out and wanting to know what you're about. If you don't ace that test, you are putting yourself on the long path to building trust. And so I'm going to show you today in this video 5 reasons why a human connection video is the most powerful way to ace the sniff, to create instant bond, instant connection, and instant trust with your dreamiest client who's meeting you for the first time online. So first of all, what is a human connection video? A human connection video is something that I created. If you don't know me, I'm an Emmy award-winning documentary filmmaker turned entrepreneur, and I focus on how to use your story, which parts of your story should we tell, and how to tell it in order to create a really powerful trailer for your brand, a 2 to 3 minute video that lives top of funnel, right? It lives in those moments where your prospect is doing the sniff. So basically it lives pinned on your social media profile, on your About Me page, on your email signature, on your homepage if you're the face of your brand. It lives on your sales page, but bottom of the fold. It follows you everywhere you go, everywhere you're introduced. We show you a human connection video. And so the human connection video is basically understanding how to use your story to build trust. And the way that we do that is by reverse engineering from the feeling of trust that your ideal client needs to have in order to buy from you. So we activate 4 trust triggers that they need to know that you get them on a very, very deep level, that you really very intrinsically understand what their drive is and what they ultimately want to do and who they are. B, that you care about them, that you're not just in it for the sale. This is not a transaction. You don't approach them like a walking credit card. They're not financing your lifestyle. You truly care about getting them results because you're passionate about what you do and impact is important to you. Number 3 trust trigger is that you've got them. So this is where what I call you becoming a sigh of relief option. When your dreamiest client meets you, they should sigh a sigh of relief. They should feel like they're in the best of hands because you're an expert, because you're great at what you do. And finally, trust trigger number 4 is that your personalities align. So in one video, the human connection video, in 2 to 3 minutes, we are combining all of these trust triggers. We are showing our ideal client the moment they meet us that we are everything that we're about. We're showing them who we are. We're showing them our values, our story, but in a way that really resonates and touches them and moves the needle for us and gets them to buy faster. We're showing them that we care about them. We're showing them that we've got them. We have the expertise and we have the credentials and we know what we're doing and we're incredibly passionate about it and it's all for them. So before I go into the 5 reasons why a human connection video works, and it has worked over and over and over again for myself and for my clients, it's important to understand why you're failing the sniff test. Most people fail the sniff test because they don't have this important piece of the puzzle in place. They don't have an easy answer to who you are and what you're about. Or if they do have a readily available answer, it's just not sticky enough. It's not moving their hearts. It's not moving them emotionally. So they don't really remember. Let me give you an example. A lot of people create a carousel that's like an about me carousel. And it's got probably 5,500 little anecdotes about what you like, what you do. Guess what? Your audience does not remember any of them because I dare you to remember any of the ones that you saw. And so that's a nice placeholder. It's important to have, but ultimately it fails the test because it's not sticky and it's not really making me emotionally feel connected to you. You're still blending in. You're not my sigh of relief choice at all because I've barely gotten to know you. Like I know some factoids about you that I don't really remember because there were probably too many of them. And I certainly didn't feel really that connected to you. I mean, like that's nice, but I'm not connected. I don't feel trust. And so when you fail the sniff test, your warmest people or the people who would be your best clients are going cold because now you're taking the long route of building trust with them through multiple months of many pieces of content instead of creating trust top of funnel where they can meet you for the first time and really feel emotionally connected and engaged with you. Most people rely on content to build trust, but the reality is content builds familiarity more than anything else. When they see you on their feed all the time, they're familiar with you, but they aren't necessarily ready to trust you. And so your warm audiences benefit from your content because they're engaged already, because they've already spent a lot of time with you, but cold audiences don't care. about you until they feel connected to you. And instead of building that connection really, really quickly through a human connection video, you're taking time to build it over months and months and months with your content. And so the 5 reasons that a human connection video works incredibly powerfully well to build trust and accelerate your sales cycle. It's because it's the first and only asset that actually transfers your energy. So everything else in your marketing describes you, but your human connection video is the closest thing to actually meeting you and feeling you and having a really close, intimate conversation with you. Your tone, your presence, the way you pause, the way you think, that's what makes someone really feel certain about you. And you can't write that into a caption or a carousel. Reason number 2, it collapses the timeline from stranger to ready to buy, from stranger to sigh of relief choice. So normally, like every other guru out there is telling you to build trust over months and months and months, over weeks and months of content, but a human connection video does it in literally 3 minutes. It's compression of time. So instead of microdosing your audience over all of these months in tiny little bits, you're giving someone everything they need to feel absolutely sure about you in one sitting. Reason number 3 is that a human connection video works while you're not working. It is the asset that does the heavy lifting for you. It's like having a team member that meets every single person that comes into your funnel. So when you're sleeping, when you're doing other stuff, when you're delivering, when you're creating content, your human connection video is out there helping every single person that meets you online pass the sniff test at 2 in the morning, at 5 in the afternoon when you're with your kids, and no live event, no podcast, no sales call required. It's literally the piece of content, the marketing asset that never clocks out. It's literally running 24/7 for you. It's the piece that makes your entire ecosystem stick. So when you create connection at that level with someone the moment they meet you, guess what? They create real estate in their minds about who you are. There are synapses that fire. There is connection that's built. So every time you show up in their feed, all of these emotions resurface again. Everything they felt about you the first time resurfaces. And there's like, oh my gosh, that's Mariana. I love her story. I'm so connected to her. Oh my gosh, that's James. Oh my gosh, that's Rachel. Like, I know Rachel. She is amazing. Like, I'm paying attention. And reason number 5, your human connection video is the only thing that makes you the sigh of relief choice instead of one of many options. It has nothing to do with showing your credentials. It really is about getting them to feel your character, your drive. So it's your drive, your mission, your personality, and your values are the 4 things that we communicate in your human connection video. Character and who you are is really what people are buying today. They're not buying even your why, they're buying who you are. People need to trust you before they trust anything else. They need to believe that you are the right person for them before they need to believe that you have the right method or the right approach for them. If they believe you, by default, they believe that you have an amazing approach. So a human connection video is the only asset that does all of these things. It activates the 4 trust triggers. It gets people to feel your energy. It collapses the timeline from when they meet you and they're doing the sniff to when they're actually ready to buy from you. In fact, I have clients who sign VIP clients within a week of meeting them. It works 24/7 while you're not working. It makes your ecosystem stickier. It makes every single other piece of content be more memorable, more engagement. They're paying more attention because they've invested in trusting you, because there's been a connection that's built from the very first moment. And finally, it's the thing that makes you the sigh of relief choice instead of one of many options. So in this video, I'm not going to get into how exactly we build the human connection video, but I am going to have a workshop where I'm going to teach you absolutely everything. This is a program that I've run for several years now, and I've decided to combine everything into a single workshop. It is absolutely no gatekeeping. It's going to be the entire human connection video system in one workshop. So if you're interested in that, go on my Instagram and comment the word workshop, and you'll get the details to buy your ticket. There are bonuses for people who buy early in the month. Depending on the time that you're watching this, it might be available right away. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I'll see you in the next one.